Hello, it is June 2nd. I did go to work yesterday. I just didn't record because I was in the midst of doing a lot of things that I wanted to try and get done in a certain time period. So I did manage to record, I did manage to edit and caption in the same day, and it worked out to about 40 minutes longer than it normally takes me. But I did have a few sort of like tech failures where I haven't yet used the programs and such recently that I'm still adapting to using them with my issues. And so, yeah, I managed to work. I'm back at work officially. I posted the first video on this channel yesterday, and it seems to be, well accepted and, stuff like that. Not getting lots of views, but that's because most people don't know about it yet. So, yeah, I am just now setting up to do revisions today. So I just want to show you the kind of new setup I have for my revisions. You see, before I would have used the tablet keyboard itself, like I have an Apple keyboard that came with the tablet, so it's just not something I can use. But I wanted to be able to have my tablet up higher because although this keyboard comes with like a built-in tablet stand, it had sort of like a bit at the bottom that because I didn't have the dexterity, it was meaning I was pressing wrong things when I didn't want to press wrong things. So yeah, I'm going to try and do some revisions. I'm going to set myself up to do what I would normally do, and just see how long it takes. It's a shower day today, so I need to make sure to be done by 7. It's about 5:30, something like that now. So I have a bit of time. We shall see how that goes. Hello. I forgot to do an intro when I first started this video. So I am Joey. You're welcome to Joey on Wheels. And we are following my recovery and adaptation to more disabilities because I already had lots after an incident in October last year. So, yep, I'm back to work. I managed to do revisions this morning. I've set myself up to be really sort of like gentle. So I'm not going full ahead with all the things that I was doing before everything went wrong. So I'm hoping that I can get those revisions done as like I might go to work tomorrow. It depends. I'm trying to sort of like not push myself. It's something that a lot of disabled people manage and deal with because you kind of have to. But it's strange to me because I don't actually know right now what my limit is, and it's kind of like trying to find it along the way. So yeah, I did my revisions and I feel like I'm making progress, which is always something good. And yeah, I've come back up to bed. I had a shower. I am now sort of like getting ready to set up in bed and just chill the rest of the day because it's been a bit of a day already and it's only like 7 a.m. So yeah, I'm going to do all of that and then I will probably get back to you tomorrow, but if not, maybe later. So it's still June 2nd. I actually already recorded this clip, but for some reason, because I'm using my phone, I did it in a way where it recorded as a vertical video rather than a horizontal video. So me being me, I thought, okay, I will turn it around in like edits and stuff like that. But when I went to import it to my editing software, it was like, yeah, it's the right, it's horizontal now, but it's going to look stupid because we've kept it in a vertical space. So it's like, okay, that sucks. But yeah, so I'm going to get back to basically what I was trying to say, but I also had the idea to prop you up against my tablet so that I could basically show you what I was talking about, which I couldn't in the first one because I was using my other hand, my left hand that's good, to hold the phone, and then I had this hand holding the mic. So basically, I had to sort of like wrap up chatting with a friend because my hand has gotten a lot more painful in a different way. So yesterday I did some recording of a video from my AUTHORTUBE and I ended up captioning it in one go, which meant a lot of typing. It was fine. I had a few sort of like pains in the fingers because if you don't know, these 3 fingers are always bent. This finger is pretty much the only one I have much use of. So when it comes to typing, I'm pretty much using this finger or maybe that finger just to add a bit more. It usually ends up adding the wrong thing, so I try not to use it. And so, I went back to work today again, and I basically started to do some revision, and there wasn't as much typing involved. So I thought, okay, yeah, because I mean, with revision at the moment, I'm not changing huge swaths of text and having to add this or do that or the other. So it's just a little bit of typing here and there. And I know that it's like my second day back. I know, I shouldn't be drawing conclusions based on that. But one thing people with both disabilities and chronic illness know is that sometimes you do something and it's great and it's fun and everything is fine. And then you have to pay it back later. And I guess I'm reaching, or I have reached, that stage with my hand today. And it's not the pain that I normally get with the nerve pain. Like, we recently updated my dosage of gabapentin to deal with the nerve pain. And to be honest, since it's been fine. It's actually worked to the point where I don't think I need to go up a dose again. And the annoying thing, to be honest, is that I get very frustrated with how things have turned out, because before the sepsis, I had pretty much gotten into a system, having had the disabilities and chronic illnesses that I had for a long time. And then, even with the addition of FND, I kind of just assumed that, yeah, we'll tweak this, tweak that, it'll be fine. But the sepsis and the coma and the hand changed everything, to the point where I feel like I'm 19 years old again and having to learn a lot more about pacing and learn a lot more about payback and redo my whole routine and adapt and such. I mean, that's basically what this channel is about, both the adaptation and the way back to work for me, but also the fact that I'm disabled. I was already disabled before, but the fact that I'm more disabled now leads to the fact that I have to just find a new routine, which is not easy. So yeah, I'm kind of feeling like the issue with the hand is twofold. One is that it's my second day back, and it was doing a lot more, typing and such than I was doing before. And also, just it's adjusting. Yeah, my hand is just adjusting. I am still waiting to I'm doing physio at home for everything else basically. But I'm waiting for the hand therapy to start. I'm on the waiting list. They have called me and said that they would call again to make the appointment, but I don't know how long the waiting list is. I didn't ask. Didn't even occur to me to ask. So yeah, it's one of those things that you just, able and healthy people just don't have to consider, like, these, parts of life. And when you become disabled, whether that's early in life or later in life, and depending on the disability, it's just such a life change. And with this, this new sort of like, hey, you've overdone it pain, it kind of feels like, am I actually going to be okay to be an author again? Because that was one of my big fears when I got home, after everything, and nothing really was changing with my hand. One of my big fears was that was the end of my author career. The books I had written and hadn't yet published were actually never going to be published, and that terrified me. So it's a lot of, like, dealing with the grief, but also remembering that I have adapted many times before and I can do it again. I just got to stop getting frustrated with myself for however long it takes. So yeah, I don't think I will be going to work tomorrow. In fact, I'm pretty sure I won't. So, I will hopefully see you on Thursday. But again, it depends on how the hand is feeling, how I am feeling, and just going from there. I know that yesterday I said that I wouldn't record a video today because I wasn't working. For the record, it's June 4th or 3rd, I can't remember. But this is the reality of chronic illness. I am in a lot of pain. I am not comfortable. I had basically maxed out on my pain meds, and I just don't want to exist right now. So yeah, I will probably edit this clip tomorrow. I don't know whether I'll keep it in the final video, but it's exhausting. It's exhausting. I want to kind of like judge how I feel in the morning as to whether or not I go and do some work. But yeah, I don't get why people think that people choose disabilities for attention or to not have to work or anything else like that. Because I promise you, this isn't fun. Do not recommend. Just the way it is. Hello, it is June 4th. I am sort of maybe look a bit half asleep. That's because mostly I am. It wasn't the best night's sleep, but you know, I'm getting used to it. And so I'm up now to start work. I don't know whether I will include the clip I took last night when I was really struggling pain-wise and everything else. But if I did, you're welcome. If I didn't, forget I said nothing. Yeah, so today I'm planning to just do some revision on a different project. Like on Tuesday, I worked on the project that's going to the editor in November. And today I'm going to work on a project that needs to be ready to go to the editor in April next year. So I know that this isn't my AuthorTube channel, so I know that I don't have to talk about details. But yeah, so I just thought I'd fill you in on that so that maybe you can keep track. I am so tired, but at the same time, I woke up about 3:30 and I tried to like sleep a bit more, and my body was like, yeah, nah, you're up. So I'm tired, I'm sore, my first morning painkiller has not yet kicked in, so yay for that. I'm just hoping to have sort of like a slow morning. Like, I'm not really having to rush through anything. You know, these things take as long as they take. I would just like a slow morning, and then I can go back up to bed. And when my carer gets up to go to work, I can have a bit more of a slow morning, maybe have a very, very long nap. Who knows? I don't know what my body's doing these days. Sometimes it feels like it's playing ball. Other times it feels like it just wants to punish me. I don't know why. Well, I mean, apart from the times when I overdo it, then I kind of do know why. But yeah, so I've got my setup. Let me just show you. I've got my setup with my tablet on the mount and stuff like that. Haven't gotten the keyboard out yet, which I had not noticed that I hadn't done yet, which is kind of, you know, a point to how tired and brain foggy I am. But today is Thursday, which means it's a video day on my AuthorTube channel, so I have to, at some point, post that. It's actually going to be my first proper video on that channel since everything went wrong. So, you know, it's like a tad nervous about how it's going to be received, but, you know, hopefully it goes well. So yeah, I'm going to drink some squash. I'm going to try and wake up a bit. I'm going to do some work. I'm going to post a video, and then I'm going to go back to bed because, wow, today is just not really a day in my mind. But it's the part of being chronically ill long term and also finding a new normal. Just you got to go the way you go. So yeah, I will catch you all later. And I am done for the day. I have changed back into pajama top because I very rarely these days change my pajama bottoms because I don't really need to when I'm sat at my desk or when I'm recording at my desk because you can't see it anyway. So there we go. So today was more sort of like a smooth back to work after a day of rest. And yeah, I think I did okay. I only worked for like an hour and a half, if that. So I feel like maybe I did okay, but you know, my back and hand are telling me otherwise. So I'm just gonna sort of like settle in, you know, do a few admin tasks for life and stuff. I have to order some more meds for one of the cats, and just, you know, get on with it. And hopefully by the time it comes to the time for my next medication dose, I'm not sort of like hoping to take it early. I don't know. It's exhausting, and I know it's exhausting. And I've been doing chronic illness life like basically all my life, but when it comes to like the fatigue side of things and chronic fatigue side of things, since I was 19, and I don't have the brain power right now to work out the maths. I'm 44 for those wondering. So it's just been a long road, and every time it feels like you hit a routine or a way of doing things that works, something, either a new chronic illness or a bout of sickness or a flare or whatever, comes along and says, you thought you were fine, and just messes with you. And yeah, so this is not going to be a long clip. My neck is killing me, and my hand hurts and my back hurts, and I just want to lie in bed and just forget about things for a while. So yeah, I will probably see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is June 5th, which is a Friday, and I have just spent the morning doing a little bit of work. So I don't actually time this work because it's more admin stuff rather than like sitting at a desk and writing this, that, or the other. So this is like, getting my promo images ready for the next month ahead of me. I like to get them ready early in the month and then kind of sit on the idea before I download and get them set up. But yeah, so I'm just going to show you how I set up. So I do the creation of the posts themselves on my computer, and then I finish adding text and stuff in Canva. So let me just give you like a quick glance of it. It's going to mean nothing to you people who are watching for the disability side, but this is like, stuff for my author life. So as you can see, I'm set up at my bed desk, and yeah, I make the images themselves in a program called BookBrush, which is, not AI. At least I don't think it is, because it's been around since I've been working with them for about 10 years. So yeah, but either way, I make the pictures. I then add, the bio link or whatever and the text. And like I said, I don't time this. I time a lot of my work, just because I like to know how long something's going to take me so I can budget for that amount of time. But for this, it takes me anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to make the images. And that's probably over exaggerating quite a bit. And obviously, the more time intensive is sitting down and doing the links and all the rest of it. So that probably takes me about an hour. So yeah, I probably should, time it, but I never have, and I don't want to start now. But yeah, so today is Friday. It is the last working day of the week. I feel like I got a better night's sleep last night, and even though I'm a little bit sore still, and I've had a shower, which obviously also expends a lot of energy, I'm just kind of hoping for a lazy day. I don't want to work the weekend. We have a vet appointment tomorrow on Saturday for one of our cats. And then we have another sort of like few bits and pieces that we have to do on Sunday to go out and pick up some clothes for me, because I have click and collected them. I've done them with this specific shop because they are adaptive clothing and it's a high store chain. So it's not actually super expensive. And I got some of their stuff a week ago, 10 days ago, and looked at it and tried it on, and it's amazing. And I love that when they first announced that they were doing this, that they were going to talk to disabled people and have disabled models, and actually really look at it seriously. So there's a couple of pieces of theirs that I like. I like the fact that a lot of their clothing is made to be sitting, because wheelchair users. And also the clothing does look different when you wear it sitting. And there's also some that allow for like poppers on the top so that you can have access to ports and stuff like that, which again, I love because I do have a port. And sometimes it's difficult to work out what clothes to wear when I go for my port flush and such. And also when I'm a patient or when I'm admitted into being a patient, I'm not always wearing accessible clothing because, strangely enough, if it's an emergency, I don't know it's coming up. So yeah, I thought that was really sweet. I thought it was really nice. And so I went back and I've ordered a few more pieces and just, love them. And it's a high street brand. It's Primark, which if you're in the UK, you probably know them. So it's not super expensive. There are some bits and pieces that I kind of feel is a bit of disability tax, but you live and you learn. So yeah, my work for the day is done. I need to post my Instagram post for the day. I will probably keep this vlog going for a few more days at least, just because I don't feel I've got a lot to put in one video. I could be wrong. I will look when I've edited and such this one. But yeah, that's my plan for the rest of the day, is to chill, read a book or two, just settle in and be glad that it's the end of the week. So I think that looking back on it, it being my first week back to work, I feel like I've done pretty good at both balancing pacing and also when I didn't pace well, adjusting to having like that day off in the middle of the week so that I could like recover. So yeah, I feel pretty good about where I am in the journey as such, but as of yet, I haven't got back into like a proper routine or found a proper routine that works for me. One of the things I really miss about the before times, even when I was disabled before, is the fact that I relied very much on a paper planner, and it was something that I really enjoyed. It was something that I've been using the same kind of planner for about 5 or 6 years at this point, and I can't do that anymore because my right hand, I am right-handed, and I can't write in a usable way, so that's not an option. She says, nearly dropping the mic because she's using her bad hand. Yeah. I do also miss the fact that for years, and I'm talking like several years, I have kept a writing log, and I also can't do that anymore because I haven't yet made enough progress with writing or trying to write with my right hand to keep up with it. And it feels sad, but I don't know. It's part of that grief and loss you have when you're disabled, whether you're just newly disabled or just got new limitations like I have. There were parts of my writing life and my author life that I really, really enjoyed. And the planner was part of that, the tracking, the writing was part of that. And I can't do it anymore. And I don't know whether it will become something I can do in the future. So, yeah, it sucks. And I guess I'm just going to have to either get over it or find a way to adapt that works. But yeah, that's my update for today. I might pick up at the weekend to take you along when we go out and about places, but otherwise, I will speak to you when I next speak to you. Hi, everybody. It is June 8th today, so I've done a whole week of work and I'm now into my second week. I thought about recording yesterday while we went into town and did a bunch of stuff, but I ended up taking everything with me, like the mic and such, and then just not recording. It didn't even occur to me. That's just me getting used to vlogging, basically. I thought I would have more to add to this vlog, and I realized that I just don't. I did my first week back at work, and now I'm into my second week, and I figured rather than drag it out into a super long vlog where I'm pretty much doing the same things, I thought that I would end this vlog here. So thank you for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, usual stuff, and I will speak to you in the next vlog. Bye.